Have you ever wondered why the smartest person you know is sometimes the one struggling the most? Why does breathtaking potential so often live right next door to poverty? It is one of life's greatest paradoxes. The brilliant mind, capable of solving global crises or designing world-changing technology, often finds itself unable to pay the electric bill or secure a stable job. Today we are diving deep into a simple truth. Intelligence without movement is merely stored potential. It is like a muscle that has never been flexed. While we listen to the story, we will also learn some new words, like inertia, the resistance to change, diligence, which is steady, earnest effort, and impetus, the force that starts things moving. Our story begins in Harmony Creek, a small town nestled among the rolling farmlands of Ohio. In Harmony Creek lived a man named Elias. Elias was, without question, the smartest person in the whole county. He was a walking encyclopedia. He could calculate complex trigonometry in his head while fixing a leaking faucet with his other hand. He read 5 books a week. His intellectual capacity was truly staggering. If you needed to know the capital of Zimbabwe, the formula for orbital mechanics, or the optimal time to plant corn, Elias was your man. The town admired his mind, but they also whispered about his life. Elias rented a tiny, 800-square-foot apartment above a dry cleaner. He drove a rusted pickup truck that hadn't passed inspection in 3 years. He earned his living by doing complicated but low-paying odd jobs, fixing computers, tutoring high school kids, and sometimes even delivering pizzas. He was brilliant, but broke. Elias was always on the verge of greatness. He had an idea for a revolutionary new solar panel design that would increase efficiency by 30%. He had sketches for a residential water filtration system that would save American homeowners thousands of dollars annually. He had blueprints for a novel mobile app that would link farmers directly to national food distributors, cutting out the middleman entirely. He had everything but one thing: a start. When people asked Elias why he hadn't patented the solar panel, he would wave his hand dismissively. "Oh, I will get to it next week," he would say. "I need to refine the voltage regulator first. It is not quite perfect yet." When asked about the water filtration system, he would explain, "The paperwork is tedious. I need 3 full days of uninterrupted focus. I just have not found the time. Not perfect yet. Just haven't found the time." These phrases became Elias's silent mantras. His brilliance was his prison. He was so terrified of releasing something less than perfect that he released nothing at all. He was trapped by the sheer weight of his own high standards. Years passed. The $500 he needed for the first patent application remained in his savings account, earning pennies. The blueprints gathered dust on his 8-foot workbench. Across town lived Mr. Sterling. Mr. Sterling was the owner of Sterling Timber and Lumber, a massive operation that employed nearly 100 people. Mr. Sterling was wealthy, respected, and successful. He was also, frankly, not very smart. Mr. Sterling struggled to balance his checkbook without an accountant. He thought the stock market was a place where you bought cattle, but he was practical. He was a man of immediate action. One day, Mr. Sterling hired Elias to optimize the wiring system in his huge commercial sawmill. Elias finished the complex job in a single afternoon. Impressed by the speed of his mind, Mr. Sterling invited Elias up to his expansive lakeside estate, a property spanning 3 acres. They sat on the veranda, looking out over the shimmering water. "Elias," Mr. Sterling said, pouring him a tall glass of iced tea, "you are the cleverest man I know. Your talent is worth more than all my lumber combined. So tell me, friend, why are you delivering pizzas instead of running a corporation?" Elias shifted uncomfortably. He mumbled something about the economy and the difficulties of funding small startups. Mr. Sterling shook his head. "No, that is the excuse. Now I will show you the real problem." Mr. Sterling led Elias around the side of the house, toward a small, artificially created stream that flowed into the lake. This stream was only about 3 feet wide and maybe 8 inches deep. It looked insignificant, but installed in the stream was a small, crudely built water wheel. It was made of plywood and simple metal rods. It looked clumsy, inefficient, and cheap. "Look at that wheel," Mr. Sterling instructed. "It generates enough power to run the 6 yard lamps along the driveway. It isn't much. It's maybe 50 watts of power." "It's a good use of hydraulics," Elias acknowledged, "though the design is inefficient. You are losing 40% of your potential kinetic energy." Mr. Sterling smiled, a little sadly. "I know I am, Elias. I built it in a weekend. It took me 30 hours of work and $300 in materials. It is far from perfect. But look at what it is doing." He pointed toward the driveway, where the lights were glowing steadily, illuminated by the turning wheel. "That wheel," Mr. Sterling continued, "is like me. I am not the Niagara Falls. I am a small, shallow stream. But I started moving. I applied the initial impetus. And because I started moving, I am doing something. I am generating power." Mr. Sterling turned back to Elias. "You, Elias, you are the Atlantic Ocean. Vast, deep, terrifyingly powerful. You have enough energy to power a continent. But you are stuck. You are frozen solid by the inertia of inaction. The difference between the intelligent man who fails and the average man who succeeds is not knowledge, Elias. It is the simple decision to move. My wheel is clumsy, but it is turning. Your masterpiece is perfect, but it is gathering dust." This simple metaphor struck Elias like a physical blow. He realized his perfectionism wasn't ambition. It was fear masked as intelligence. The turning point came 2 weeks later. A young man, barely out of college, launched a simple, rudimentary water-saving device at the local hardware store. It was exactly like Elias's design, but simpler, cruder, and less efficient. It worked, mostly, and it sold out instantly. That young man wasn't a genius. He was a doer. He had overcome inertia. He had chosen diligence over dwelling. Elias went home that night. He didn't refine his blueprints. He didn't research new materials. He simply drove to an office supply store, bought the necessary forms, and spent the entire night filling out the patent application for the solar panel, the one that had been waiting for 3 years. He filed the paperwork, imperfect and rushed, the very next morning. It was the hardest thing he had ever done. It was the moment he traded infinite potential for concrete progress. What is the vital lesson here? Why does the genius remain poor while the merely capable become rich? The cost of procrastination is not lost time. It is lost momentum. Intelligence is potential energy. It is the ability to do great things. But until that energy is converted into kinetic energy, until you start moving, it is worth nothing. The greatest enemy of success is not failure. Failure is simply movement in the wrong direction, which can be corrected. The greatest enemy is inertia, that deadly force that convinces you that everything must be perfect before you begin. This need for perfection is often just fear in a smart person's clothes. The fear of being judged, the fear of falling short of one's own tremendous expectations. Remember Mr. Sterling's water wheel. It was inefficient, but it worked. It was turning. It was generating real, usable power. It overcame the inertia. If you wait for the perfect time, the perfect idea, or the perfect skill set, you will wait forever. The world rewards those who start, not those who wait for flawless execution. The greatest minds are often poor because they focus on the brilliance of the thought, not the diligence of the task. They forget that even the longest journey of 1,000 miles begins with an imperfect, clumsy, single step. The philosopher Seneca once said, "While we are postponing, life speeds by." Stop postponing your masterpiece. Stop refining your beautiful idea in secret. Release the pressure of perfection and apply the impetus of action. Take that clumsy step today. It is the only thing that separates the genius stuck in poverty from the average person who changes the world. I'll be back again with another inspiring story. Till then, be patient, be thankful, and keep moving forward in life.